It was a pretty crazy hectic day. There was a lot of wiring to be done.
Well, right now we're getting ready to test the system.
But once we got it all together, it all worked on the first try. It was a pretty amazing experience.
It's not just that it's the internet per se, but it's that it's information. Because this school, like most schools, hardly have any books at all. So any kind of information is just, I mean, people are thirsty for information.
We have a lot of educational games and things installed that help them to learn to use simple things like a mouse, because it seems like second nature to us, but like really that's the first step to learning a computer.
I mean, the teachers had never seen a mouse before, but they caught on almost, within 5 minutes.
They're really excited about it, and they're really excited to learn, so it'll be exciting to see when we go back.
And that's a long-term development educational thing for Tanzania, and we can take those lessons and apply them elsewhere, so that's really, really critical.
We hope that ultimately we'll learn things that will be valuable to Lenovo as they look to actually create a real-world product.
Well, when we did the training of how to use Wikipedia for the teachers, they just, I mean, we could hardly get them away from it.
Of course, educating the local teachers to make sure that the teachers know how to use the technology, make sure the teachers can integrate the technology into their classroom.
A delightful surprise to me. They called me up and Professor Olson and gave us the traditional garb that they wear, and then they gave me it's a sort of a club that's called a rungu, and it's something that elders are allowed to carry, others can't. And they made me an honorary elder of their group. When you get older in that country, you get more respect, not less respect. It was very moving that they wanted to have us feel like we were a part of their community.
3 keys to the 3 compartments on that large metal box here, and with these keys go responsibility.
Well, we wanted to essentially turn the keys to the system over to the village, letting them understand that it's theirs.
And so it's an experiment, to see what works, what doesn't work, what the teachers and the students get the most out of the internet and of the computer.
It may be a first, at least it's an early pioneering system in a Maasai village, in a village where they don't have electric power.
This is actually an opportunity where you get out there and you're really doing something concrete.
For our students, of course, this represents an opportunity to work on something with a real customer, with real users in a school in Tanzania, and learn to do something that is very exciting.
Other students might have just read about, the problems, but I've actually gone there and I have successfully addressed these challenges. And I think that's a really compelling story to be able to tell to potential future employers.
The student teams are very highly motivated. They say, I don't care how much we have to work on this, we're going to make it work.
It's right here.
And it's an international project, so it reflects the sort of increasingly global nature of all jobs, so it gives them a global experience. It's not just the challenge of the initial deployment, but there's also then this next challenge, which we're really struggling with right now, which is to figure out how we can actually support, maintain, and extract value out of this.
They came back very much committed to continuing their involvement. 2 of these students have already graduated. Well, I had a meeting in my office yesterday with one of them, okay, who was up here on campus, figuring out what do we want to do to improve the software in that computer there. He's dedicated to seeing that happen, even though he's already, he not only is not getting a grade, but he's not even at MSU any longer.
It really is great. There's a lot of work that still needs to be done, obviously. The system needs to be, maybe a little more intuitive. The culture itself needs to become more comfortable with the technology before they can use it to its fullest degree.
I think the long-term impacts are pretty interesting, pretty exciting.
We think we are blazing some new ground there.
I almost think it's sort of the ideal buzzword project for what the university's overall mission is today.
Long-term, I think it's this partnership that's going to have a big impact.
But I think eventually it will be a much more open world for them to see.
Chezeni mpaka waje waunge mkono. Ruka kabisa mpaka na hiyo ingine bila. Kama dakika 5.
The preceding program was produced by Michigan State University in association with the Big Ten Network.